The fifth harbinger, the gaze is done. So what was on the seal? She asked. An irregular line. Ascending and descending, I took it to be the top of a mountain. And where did that lead you? I looked it at Isaiah 9, but there was nothing there about a mountain. I couldn't find anything to connect the seal to the prophecy, much less to 9/11. Again, I found myself at a roadblock, going nowhere, until I went deeper into the prophecy. The last harbinger focused on the word rebuild, but we will rebuild. Yes, we will rebuild, but with what? I focused on the next word, but we will rebuild with hornstone. But I thought that was the part of the mystery of the tower, that they would replace that was destroyed with something greater and stronger than before it was. But the prophecy especially speaks of a stone, a hornstone, yes, but it was originally written in Hebrew. That's where I went deeper. I looked it up, the Hebrew behind the word stone, and the word is gazed. It could be called a gazed stone. It can be translated as a hornstone, a carved stone, a dressed stone, a smooth stone, a cut stone, or a quarried stone. The gazed stone was most especially a stone quarried, she-shelled, and carved out of mountain rock. Mountain rock, she said, as if proud to have come up with a discovery. There's your connection, exactly. And after being quarried, it would be labeled smooth and shaped into a block for use in building a building block. After the Assyrian attack, the people of Israel would set out to rebuild. They would go to the mountains and quarries to carve, shape, and smooth the gazed stone. Then they would bring it back to where the bricks had fallen, so the rebuilding could begin. So you actually put the clues together correctly. I believe it was the first time I did a major accomplishment. Where did it lead you? Nowhere. It led me nowhere. I was able to connect the stone to the mountain, but nothing else. There was nothing connecting it to now. No connection to America. How many new buildings in this city do they build out of mountain stone? There was no link. So what did you do? I took a break. I took a break from trying to figure it out. And from the city, I went upstate. There's a cabin there by a lake that I ran. I had several projects to work on, so I got away. So you put the search behind you. The search, yes, but not the seal. I didn't want to leave that behind. So what happened? For the first 2 days, nothing. It was uneventful. Then on the third day, I was out driving to nowhere in particular, just a drive in the countryside. That's when I saw it on my left. In the distance, that's when you saw what? A mountain. There had to be a lot of mountains upstate, but this one looked familiar. I pulled over and got out of the car. I reached into my pocket to look at the seal, and it marched. The mountain marched the image on the seal, she said, with obvious disbelief. It was the same shape, the same outline, the same mountain, but I thought the sea was ancient, from the Middle East. How could it merge a mountain in America? I don't know. Maybe it was the image of another mountain, some mountain in the Middle East that happened to march the mountain I saw that day. I don't know, but it merged. But for that it to happen, the image would not only have had a merged mountain, but the view from which you saw the mountains. How could that happen? How could any of it happen? He said, as if expecting her to by now take such things for granted. How could I keep meeting him each time? Some kind of destiny. A predestination, something anyway. It merged, or it appeared to match the moment I first saw in it, and from the very spot from which I saw it, so you pursued it. Of course, I drove up the mountain as far as I could drive, then went on foot the rest of the way. And what did you find? I figured that whatever I was supposed to find would be on the mountain top. But the mountain was long and rolling and was covered with trees. It was hard to know where to look, not to mention what exactly I was looking for. I was there for hours, from midday to the late afternoon. And then in the late afternoon, I finally found what I was supposed to find, which he was. Him. I found him. The first thing I noticed was the coat, that long dark coat flapping with each gust of wind. He was standing there by one of the edges of the mountain top, looking out into the distance. He was often doing that, looking out into the distant right. Yes, and now it was into a vast open landscape of distant blue mountains, all different shades of blue blending into each water, something you see in a watercolor. And he just happened to be there when you happened to be there, and you just happened to be there only because you just happened to be driving by the particular place that day, and you just happened to see the mountain from a view that just happened to match the image of mountain on the seal. She paused and stared at him with a light smile before adding, "It all just happened to happen. That's pretty much it," he replied. And how far away was the mountain from the city? Several hours north. How did he? Don't even try. So I approached him. I was within 10 feet of him when he spoke. "So how was your vacation, Uriel?" he asked, without looking back. I promised myself I was going to ask how you do all this. But how long have you been here on this mountain, on this spot? Not long, just enough to be here before you came. I didn't want to keep you waiting. That wouldn't be polite. But of course, so you had a pleasant vacation? I'm still in the midst of it, and I'm not sure. I was now standing at his side near the edge, facing him. He would alternate his gaze between me and the light blue mountains in the distance. "So what have you found so far?" he asked. "On the fifth harbinger, not a lot." "Then let's start with a little. What have you found after the attack?" The nation vows to rebuild not with clay bricks as before, but with stone. In the prophecy, the Hebrew word for stone is gazit. Well done, Uriel. You are good. Going deeper. That's good. What else? Gazit speaks of stone that's been cut out. She's sealed, in particular, quarried from mountain rock. Thus, the mountain and the seal, a place from which the gate stone is quarried. The more, that's more than a little, but it doesn't lead me anywhere. It led you here. But what does it have to do with America or with the tower? It's not as if New York City is about to build skyscrapers out of carried stone. Piece the clues together, Nuriel. Then we can see if there's any connection to America. Where are we in the prophecy? But we will rebuild with hornstone. So they vote to rebuild and to do some stronger than before, to replace